Hi everyone, I'm Dan, the Invasive Species Technician here at Quinte Conservation, and today we're at Massasauga Point Conservation Area to learn how to report invasive Phragmites. But first, you might be wondering, what is Phragmites? Well, you can see some growing right behind me. And so Phragmites, also known as common reed, is an aggressive semi-aquatic grass species that grows typically around wetlands, along roadsides, and in ditches. You'll see it growing in these kind of dense stands like this one, and you'll know it's Phragmites by its beige greenish stems, its green bluish kind of leaves, and then these dense fluffy seed heads. So this plant is spreading rapidly across our watershed and poses a significant threat to our local ecosystems. It outcompetes native vegetation, it lowers water levels, it creates fire hazards and roadside hazards, and it also provides poor habitat and food sources for our native wildlife. We're going to go step by step through the survey on how to fill out anytime you'd like to report invasive Phragmites. So on the first page, you're asked a few different questions. The very first one is the relative stand density of Phragmites within the observed patch. So this is asking how Phragmites is growing in relation to other plants in the area. So as you can see at this specific site, there's quite a bit of Phragmites, but there are also other species growing amongst it. So I would say for this option, it's not high, it's not really low either, so I think we're going to go with our medium option. Next question is land type. So this indicates who owns the land that the patch is being observed on. So for this case, out of our options, we're going to choose parkland, and from there we have more options to choose from. So in this case, we're going to choose conservation area. Next is hydrological condition, so whether there's water present on site. In this case, it's not a super wet area. It looks a little damp, but it's also dry when it gets really hot out like today. So we're going to choose dry or damp. Next is site access. So this is basically what you'll need to get to the actual site. And you can choose multiple options for this one. In this case, I'm just going to choose foot, because you can park at the parking lot and walk right to this site pretty easily. Next page, we have more questions. So our first one is to draw the extent of Phragmites. So here you can actually click on the little icon and it'll take you to a map of the area. You can zoom in to your spot, and then you can use the little drawing tool in the bottom left hand corner to trace out the area that you're observing. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this little patch next to where I am. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as we get an idea of where the actual pocket is and a general sense of how large it is. That's what matters. So once you're done tracing, you can click the check mark, and then you can go on to taking some photos. So first photo is a general image of the area. So I'll zoom out, take a wide shot of the spot, and then it asks for a close-up. So we're trying to get any identifiable features of the Phragmites. I'm going to zoom in on a couple of these right here, trying to get that image of the dense seed head, since that is such a strong indicator of Phragmites. After that, you're asked to provide any additional comments. So it could be environmental or access concerns. For environmental, you might want to indicate if it's located within a provincially significant wetland per se, or if it's an access concern, you could indicate that it's on private property and you'd need to get contact from a landowner. For this case, I'm not going to put any comments. And then the very last question is, are there any other invasive species present on site? So I'm going to do a little look around, and for this option you can choose multiple, so you can add multiple invasive species. There's nothing major here, it seems. We have a little bit of creeping Jenny along the very bottom here, so I think I will select yes. And I'll go to the next page. You can hit the plus, type in the name of the invasive species, so I'll put creeping Jenny, and then I'll take a photo. Now you're good. You can click the check mark, and then you have the option to either send now, continue the survey, or save in the outbox for later, and you can upload it, say when you have data or when you have Wi-Fi. But for now I'm going to hit send. Takes a little bit to upload depending on where you are. But that's it. It sends it directly to us and we're able to access that data. It's very simple, it only takes you a few minutes. So our team and community partners have already begun mapping these infestations on conservation lands, municipal properties, and along roadways. But now we need your help. The more reports we receive, the more we can understand the spread of this invasive species, and in turn, plan effective control strategies.